There is perhaps no other competition where travelling matters as much as the URC. For the past 2 years, those who have travelled to South Africa and vice versa has had subpar performances, while those who play at home always raise the game for the most part. This game was no exception, as the Bulls bulldozed over Connacht, and it didn't seem like the Irish were ever in the game. The areas that we will look at are the Bulls' strong kickoffs, their great attacking lineouts, and their solid defensive lines. For Connacht, we'll look at their approach on attack and how their defensive structures led to massive gaps in the backfield. The Bulls kicked off very deep into this pocket on the right. This is very impressive as it takes a high amount of accuracy to execute. Combined with strong chases, this led to Connacht having to clear with very little room to maneuver. Contrast this with the Bulls' reception of the ball from kickoff, where they put Elrich low in the deep pocket. Of course, this doesn't allow for fast clearances, but it does allow them to take a strong contact and to set up a good exit, typically with a box kick. To be fair, Connacht did change their approach eventually, opting to kick the ball short, which was disruptive to the Bulls' ball security. With this strong field position after the kickoff, the Bulls were able to launch strong attacks from the lineout. The lineout is a very important part of the Bulls' game plan and is responsible for many of the tries they scored. Essentially, the Bulls like to line up in a 7 or 8 man lineouts close to their opponent's 22. They then take a basic crash ball with the inside center up the middle of the field before folding around with their forwards to create very fast attacking pods. The main key here is speed and to overwhelm their opponents, and they aren't afraid to offload or pick and go in these positions, often at the expense of their structure. This time it paid off, however, as they were ruthless and very accurate in this area. Next, let's look at how the Bulls managed to shut down Connacht's attack on many occasions. The Irish attacking shape is a 1-3-2-2 system with the mentality of using the width of the field as much as possible. Within their pods, they had the same policy as well. They were constantly looking to offload into space, and their outside runners ran very wide support lines. The Bulls have a policy of trying to shut down their opponent's attack at the first pod. Afterwards, they transition to a drift defensive system, where they look to use the touchline as the last defender. Connacht's fly-off, Jack Carty, did not have a great game. As such, Connacht just couldn't get the go-forward ball that they were looking for. They did manage to get width, but this width wasn't very effective, as they didn't have enough speed to attack the defense properly. The Bulls have one of the most deadly backlines in the competition. Even without Arendse and Moody as starters, Connacht desperately wanted to shut down the outside channels from being exploited by their back three by committing their wings to the defensive line. This did come at a cost, however, as their backfield were oftentimes exposed, which the Bulls' kickers exploited many times. The Bulls will be really happy with this result, as they had a less than ideal performance against Edinburgh the previous week. For Connacht, this performance will undoubtedly hurt. However, it's good to get the bad performances out of the way in the beginning of the season. If you like this video, then please consider liking and subscribing. You can also find me on Twitter, which I'll link in the description. See you next time.